Stay with me for a few moments. Before you think about everything that happened today, or everything waiting for you when this video ends, simply allow your heart to rest for a little while. We don't always realize how tired we truly are, because we've learned to keep going even when our souls are longing for rest. But the Father notices. He sees what no one else can see. And perhaps this is all you need to remember today. God never loses sight of you. There is a kind of weariness that doesn't disappear after a good night's sleep. It is the weariness of someone who has been trying to stay strong for too long. Someone who keeps caring for others while quietly hiding their own wounds. Someone who says, "I'm fine," almost without thinking, even while knowing that, deep inside, everything is far from peaceful. If you have ever felt this way, know this: God has never mistaken your silence for a lack of faith. He even understands the prayers that were never spoken aloud. Perhaps, even for just a moment, you've wondered, is God still watching over me? Don't be ashamed of that question. Many sincere hearts have asked it before you. Fear likes to whisper that we've been forgotten, that we're walking alone, or that God is too busy to notice an ordinary life like ours. But fear has always spoken louder than the truth. Today, the Father wants you to hear the voice of truth once again. There is a promise written centuries ago that is still alive today, as if it had been written just this morning. God said, "Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine." Think about those words for a moment. Among billions of people, the Creator of the universe doesn't simply know humanity. He knows names, stories, tears, dreams that were interrupted. And your name has never been absent from His heart, not even on the days when you believed you had been forgotten. Perhaps that is why this message found you today. Not because God needs to capture your attention with something extraordinary, but because His love often reveals itself through the simplest moments. Sometimes it begins with a few quiet minutes, a sentence that reaches the right heart, or a hope that seemed lost but suddenly begins to breathe again. The Father still knows how to reach His children. And when He speaks, it is never to condemn those who are weary. It is to remind them that they were never meant to walk alone. There are days when it feels as though God is silent. You pray, you wait, you keep believing, but the answers don't come when you expected them to. In those moments, it's easy to think that heaven has become quiet. But God's silence never means His absence. Very often, it is in the silence that He is holding you up in ways your eyes cannot yet see. Not everything the Father does can be seen immediately, but everything He does is born out of love. Take a moment to look back at your own story. There were doors that closed, and at the time they seemed like the end of everything. There were painful goodbyes, plans that never came to life, and paths you never expected to leave behind. Perhaps some of those memories still live inside you today. But how many times have you looked back and realized that God was protecting you from something you couldn't understand back then? We rarely understand His ways while we are walking through them. Sometimes we only understand after we've crossed the bridge. The Father never promised that the journey would be easy. What He promised was His presence. And there is a world of difference between facing a storm alone and walking through it knowing that someone is holding your hand. Perhaps you still cannot see how everything will unfold. Perhaps there are questions without answers and tears that continue to fall. But God's presence does not depend on your circumstances. It remains when the skies are clear and it remains when the clouds seem too heavy to let the light through. Some people believe they must come before God already strong, already confident, already free from fear. But the Father never asked that of us. Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." What a beautiful invitation. He didn't call only those who had already overcome. He called the weary, the burdened, those who no longer know how much longer they can keep going. If this is where you find yourself today, know that His invitation is still open. Perhaps you won't be able to change your whole life today. Perhaps your problems will still be waiting for you when this video comes to an end. But there is something that can change right now. The certainty that you no longer have to carry them alone. The God who knows your name also knows the weight your heart has been carrying. And when you place that weight into His hands, the journey doesn't always become shorter, but it is no longer a lonely one. And sometimes, that is the very first miracle a weary soul needs to experience. Perhaps it has been a long time since you looked toward tomorrow with a peaceful heart. There are seasons in life when we stop making plans because we're afraid of hoping again. After enough disappointments, the heart begins to protect itself. It starts believing that expecting less will somehow hurt less. But the Father did not create you simply to survive each day. There is a difference between merely existing and truly living. And God still longs for you to experience the fullness of the life He prepared for you. That doesn't mean every answer will come all at once. Some answers arrive little by little, just like the sunrise. No one can point to the exact moment when night becomes morning. Slowly, the sky begins to change, light appears on the horizon, and before we realize it, a new day has begun. That is often how God works. His answers don't always come suddenly. More often, they grow quietly while you continue walking faithfully, one step at a time. Perhaps you've been waiting for God to change your circumstances first. But many times, He begins by transforming something even more precious, your heart. Because when the heart finds peace, even the hardest road can be walked with a strength that once seemed impossible. That is why Scripture tells us that the peace of God guards both our hearts and our minds. Not because it removes every difficulty, but because it reminds us that we never walk through them alone. The Father already knows the future you cannot yet see. He is already present in the days that still make you anxious. He is already in the conversations that have yet to happen, in the doors that will one day open, and even in the answers that still seem far away. While you live one day at a time, God sees the entire road. And because He sees what lies ahead, He knows exactly when to ask you to move forward and when to gently ask you to wait a little longer. So don't let fear write the final chapter of your story. Fear only knows what happened yesterday. God also knows what is waiting to bloom tomorrow. Today, you may see nothing more than seeds hidden beneath the soil. But the Father already sees the garden that will blossom in its appointed time. Keep trusting Him. Not everything that is growing can be seen right away, but that never means God has stopped working. Some miracles begin in silence, long before our eyes are able to recognize them. Perhaps, as you listen to me now, there are still questions that remain unanswered. Some of them may have been with you for months, perhaps even for years. God has never been afraid of your questions. He never turns away when you don't understand what is happening. Quite the opposite. Very often, it is in those moments that He draws even closer, gently sustaining you while the answers are still on their way. There is something truly beautiful about the way the Father cares for his children. He rarely reveals the entire road at once. Instead, he gives us the light we need for the very next step. If we could see the whole journey, we might become overwhelmed by the challenges ahead or rush toward the wrong direction. But God knows the rhythm of every heart. He is never late, and he is never early. His faithfulness always arrives at exactly the right moment. Every morning, when the sun rises, God does something that often goes unnoticed. He renews his mercy over the earth, not because the world deserves it, but because his love has never depended on our performance. That means that even after a difficult day, a poor decision, or a night filled with anxiety, a new beginning is still waiting for you. The Father's heart never grows tired of offering fresh starts. Perhaps you've been too hard on yourself lately. Perhaps you've expected a strength from yourself that God himself has never demanded. The Father knows your limits better than you do. He knows when your shoulders feel heavy, when your hope has grown small, and when your heart can only take one step at a time. And do you know something? To God, even one small step taken in faith is precious. He doesn't measure your journey by how fast you move, but by the trust you place in him. Before we say goodbye, allow me to pray with you for a moment. Loving Father, thank you because your love has never depended on what we are able to do, but on who you are. Thank you because even when we feel tired, confused, or uncertain, your eyes continue to rest upon us with tenderness. Today, I ask you to embrace the heart of the person listening to this message. Fill them with a peace that no circumstance can take away, a hope that does not depend on immediate answers, and the quiet assurance that they never walk alone. When fear tries to speak louder than your truth, remind them of your voice. When discouragement knocks at their door, remind them of your promises. And when a new morning comes, help them recognize, even in the smallest moments, that you are still caring for them with the same faithful love you have always shown. Amen. After this prayer, allow this peace to remain with you for a little while longer. There is no need to rush back into the rhythm of your day. Simply hold on to the certainty deep within your heart. The Father knows your name, walks beside you, and will continue to sustain you, one day at a time. And if, while listening to this message, someone came to your heart, perhaps that person also needs to be reminded that God has not forgotten them. Share this moment with them. Sometimes, a simple act of kindness becomes the quiet answer to a prayer that only the Father knew had been whispered. Thank you for allowing me to walk beside you for these few moments. Whenever your heart longs to rest again in the Father's presence, this will always be a place where you are welcome to return. Until then, remain in his peace and never forget, you are deeply loved by God.